Hi, church. Hey, let's all start the service today by channeling our inner Arnold Schwarzenegger, and let's just say this: Hasta la vista 2020, huh? Why don't you go ahead and just say that wherever you are? Type it in the comments section, show your muscles. 2020 is gone. We're headed into 2021, and I'm just super excited about that. You know, we've planned a very special service for you today, for us to experience. We're going to sing some wonderful worship songs to the God that we love, and we're also going to take a time to hear some stories from a couple of our strategic ministry partners locally. You're going to get to hear Josh interview the director and one of his other teammates from over at Hope Pregnancy Clinic. You're also going to get to hear from the director of the Men's Union Gospel Mission. And the reason that we want to talk with these folks is they've experienced some pretty dramatic ups and downs in 2020. And we've got this great long-term relationship with these folks. And so I want to remind you of the good that's happening with these vital ministries and some of their vision for the future, because we're hoping to continue partnering with them and even take a step forward in 2021. And so I'm just excited for you to get to know them, see their faces, hear their stories, and we're going to be excited about what's coming next. You know, we give to these organizations throughout the year. And so when you're making an investment in Court Street and trusting us with your funds, those donations are used here locally, distributed to other ministries in some cases, sent around the world. It's really a beautiful thing. And so listen to these folks as they talk and just let their stories just get your heart excited. We're helping to write a very beautiful story here in Salem. And so let's start, though, with some musical worship. Let's get to it.
You are matchless in grace and mercy. There is nowhere we can hide from your love. You are steadfast, never failing. You are faithful. All creation is in awe of who you are. You're the healer of the sick and the broken. You are comfort for every heart that mourns. Our King and our Savior forever. For eternity we will sing all you've done. For eternity we will sing of all you've done. We sing, God with us, God for us. Nothing can come against, no one can stand between us. God with us, God for us. Nothing can come against, no one can stand between us. Your heart, it moves with compassion. There is life, there is healing in your love. You're the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. For eternity we will sing of all you've done. And we sing, God with us, God for us. Nothing can come against, no one can stand between us. God with us, God for us. When I was afraid, you were with me, and you lifted me up, you lifted me up. When there was death, you brought life, Lord. When there was fear, you brought courage. When I was afraid, you were with me, and you lifted me up, and you lifted me up, yeah. You lifted me up, you lifted me up. We sing, God with us, God for us. Nothing can come against, no one can stand between us. God with us, God for us. Nothing can come against, no one can stand between us. You are my joy, you are my song, you are the well, the one I'm drawing from. You are my refuge, my whole life long. Where else would I go? Surely my God is the strength of my soul. Your love defends me, your love defends me. And when I feel like I'm all alone, your love defends me, your love defends me. Day after day, night after night, I will remember you're with me in this fight. Although the battle, it rages on, the war's already won. I know the war's already won. Surely my God is the strength of my soul. Your love defends me, your love defends me. And when I feel like I'm all alone, your love defends me, your love defends me. We sing hallelujah, you're my portion, my salvation. Hallelujah, surely my God is the strength of my soul. Your love defends me, your love defends me. And when I feel like I'm all alone, your love defends me, your love defends me. Surely my God is the strength of my soul. Your love defends me, your love defends me. And when I feel like I'm all alone,
Hello, church. I'm here again with one of our ministry partners, and I'm just excited to have this time of interview with my new friend, Myron Jones from UGM, Union Gospel Mission. It's been here in Salem for over 65 years. And Myron was telling me that the mission was actually founded by some businessmen here in Salem to serve those experiencing homelessness in our community. And UGM has really a big impact throughout our city. They do more than you might think. In fact, I was asking Myron. First of all, welcome, Myron. Glad to have you. Glad to have you here
Thank you.
today. You were telling me a little bit about UGM and just what you think the average person doesn't necessarily understand about UGM.
Well, let me start by just saying I was one of those folks that used to drive by UGM and think, hey, that's really nice that they provide a meal and a place for people to sleep. But UGM is way vastly more than that. Union Gospel Mission, we provide life-changing opportunities for men, women to transform their lives and to become contributing members of our community. And through our programs, in every aspect of our program, we develop it and implement it looking through the lens of the gospel of Jesus. So that's the foundation of everything that we do at the Union Gospel Mission. From our adult learning centers to men and women developing academically to get a job. We've created a careers track program that allows them, if we partner with Chemeketa Community College to allow them to go off to college to get a degree, to our New Life Fellowship transitional services, to our food services, to helping men and women to find housing. Many aspects of the Union Gospel Mission. Is not just a soup kitchen. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. You know, I was thinking about, as we were talking earlier before this interview, just, how many of us experience those in our community who are experiencing homelessness. And we may have different feelings regarding when we see a homeless camp or something. But you were telling me a little bit about how you approach that at UGM. How do you look at people that you're serving?
We try to look at our homeless friends as just that, friends, with the hope of creating an opportunity for us to help them, not just give them a handout, but a hand up, helping them to understand that there is hope from that situation that they're in, and that there are opportunities at the Union Gospel Mission for them to find that hope and to have a life change through our programs, but also just to love them and treat them as an individual, because that's who they are. They're God's children, and we view them as just that, one of God's child. And so we hope to love them and treat them that way.
Now, the services that you mentioned, there's like it's quite a few different ones that serve different people wherever they're at on their journey in this process, women and children, and then men who are incarcerated. Just briefly tell us a little bit about what are the different avenues that people have for life change.
Yeah, there's a broad spectrum of that. We have Greer Street Transitional Services, which is a transitional house for men who have graduated our New Life Fellowship Transition program. And it's just the next step from being in the mission to having your own place to the next step of being independently on your own. We have a restoration house, which is primarily housed with men who are coming out of incarceration, trying to help them to get their lives back on track with life skills development, budgeting opportunities, and just living in a community that's safe. And then we also have a culinary arts program. I may have mentioned this, our Adult Learning Center, which gives about 5,600 hours a week of academic development to our counselors, who are providing over 3,000 hours of counseling a year. So there's many, just many aspects of that.
Yeah, I love that you're meeting people wherever their stage of need is. You know, that's really great.
Absolutely.
You have a story that you brought with you today, and I think it illustrates that about a young man that came into your life in the last year,
Yeah.
last couple of
Yeah,
years, graduate of the
absolutely.
program.
Graduated our program.
Tell us a little bit about his story, because man, he intersects with a lot of these
So,
things that you're
so
doing.
Michael Edwards was a guy who was literally brought to the mission from probation and parole, and he had two options: one to go to jail, go back to jail, or join a program. And his first response was, "Take me back to jail." And his probation officer said, "Hey, try this out. I hear great things about it." He joined our New Life Fellowship program, and he came into my office, and I had a conversation with him. And my first thought was, he's not going to make it 90 days, you know. And I got a pretty good sniffer about that, being there for over 14 years. But he was going to a church here in Salem, Salem Heights Church. They went off to a men's retreat, and he accepted the Lord at this men's retreat. And from that point on, God got a grip of his heart, and he wanted to learn more about the Lord. He wanted to develop what it means to live like a godly man. And he graduated our program, and he was accepted into our culinary arts program. And he just recently finished that, and I just hired him on staff November the 1st. And now he's talking to the guys in the program, ministering to them. And that's that complete circle of being in a dark place. I think that's up there in his quote, and finally understanding what it means to know Jesus, to love Jesus, and to live like Jesus. And I love this guy, and it's just one story out of hundreds that I could tell.
That's awesome. And have you eaten his food?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, is it good?
Our culinary arts program is a great program. I personally, I don't eat many meals at the mission, but they have really good food, and the guys love it. So
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, this has been a challenging season for all of us going through the pandemic, but I imagine that it would be very difficult to be serving the people that you serve when you have to remain socially distanced. And you were mentioning just the way that you serve meals has changed. Tell us a little bit about how you're able to do ministry even during the coronavirus.
yeah, I remember it was back in March, and I got a phone call, and the governor had made this announcement, and overnight we had to change the whole way we served at the mission to, we started off first, all of our meals had to be in to-go boxes because we couldn't have people in their facility. And as time developed, we tried to keep three things in focus, safety protocol. Everything that we did, we want to make sure that our clients are safe and our staff are safe. So I've never seen the mission as clean as it is right now. And so all of those adjustments took place, but it actually allowed us to give some intentional care to our clients because men weren't allowed to be in the facility throughout the day like normal. So the casework that our counselors and our caseworkers are providing for our clients, that whole, it just raised the level of intentional one-on-one contact with them. And then it provided opportunities for us for outreach. Our search and rescue team, which is led by Bruce Donahue, who has an incredible story just by himself, has given us an opportunity to be out on the streets, going into the camps, all of these tent cities that you're seeing all over town, being able to minister the gospel to these individuals, providing an opportunity for them to come in and get services from us. And that has been one of the biggest blessings throughout this pandemic.
Wow, that's really cool, man. Well, I know Court Street has had a partnership with UGM financially over the years. And that's meant a great deal to us, as I'm sure it is to you. And we have people that volunteer, volunteer their services personally at the mission, even though they haven't been able to do that very much recently, but they're looking forward to that. Tell me a little bit about what you're grateful for just with from Court Street and what you've seen.
You know, I'm always appreciative of when a local church financially give, but you guys have taken it to another level, and that's what I appreciate the most. Not only do you give monetarily, but you guys have provided chapel services for us. You guys have came and volunteered at different facilities throughout UGM. But for me, it's that personal touch, that one-on-one touch, and you guys have. I don't recall the name, but there have been several members of this congregation that have actually mentored some of our clients, and that to me is what really touches my heart and blesses us, because you're actually providing an opportunity for our friends to engage normally and to know what it's like to be in a godly relationship with people. And so when churches get involved at that level, it gets my attention, but it also blesses my heart.
Oh man, thanks for sharing that. I know it means a lot to our church to hear that from you as well.
It means a lot to our clients.
Awesome. Well, we're excited about your new project you're working on downtown. We've been watching it go up, and how is that going to impact the new center, the new downtown men's mission? What's that going to impact your ministry in that way?
Well, my hope that it will provide a relief for our community to get more people off the streets and to give them the blessings of the services that we provide. This facility will house 300 people. It will allow us to double the capacity of our program, our New Life Fellowship Transitional Program, but it will also double the capacity of us to provide just for emergency shelter. And we've incorporated some mental health services within our new facility, and we're partnering with a medical service here in town, which will provide medical attention to our clients right in our facility. So it's just going to raise the level of the services that we'll be able to provide.
That's awesome, man. We're looking forward to that with you. Myron has been at the mission for 14 years. He was sharing with me. He is the director of the men's ministries and oversees a lot of different things. But most importantly, you're married to your wife, Sherry, and you're members out at Foothills Christian Church, and you're a former worship leader, right?
Well, I say former, but I still lead worship, but
Still
I'm
lead
not
worship.
on staff anymore. So
So you enjoy it. All right.
I do. I do it because I enjoy it now. I don't do it because it's my job.
What do you play an instrument?
I play a little guitar, but my instrument really is my voice. So.
Oh, I thought you meant you play a little guitar, like one of those ukuleles or something.
No. I play a little guitar, a little piano, but I love to sing, and I've been leading worship for 20 years or more.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, it's been great to be with you today, Myron, and to hear your heart for the mission and how we can best partner with that as a church. Just thanks for just sharing your heart today and sharing the story of Michael especially. That was really exciting to hear. I'd love to just have a prayer over you and UGM as well. Let me pray for you.
Thank you.
God, we just thank you so much for the love that we see this time of year. During the Christmas season especially, and we think of, God, you coming to this earth, your incarnation to become one of us, and what that means to love your creation to the point that you would become your creation. And in many ways, UGM is, they are doing that in a way, in the same way that you are, in that they're willing to meet people. I think of the ways that Myron has shared today, that UGM is meeting people in their time of need and becoming like them to share the love of Christ. Thanks for the stories that we've heard today of lives that are being touched, lives that are being changed, and just the heartbeat of that. And I pray that we would just be excited about that and continue to join with UGM to minister to our homeless friends, as Myron put it so wonderfully today. we love you, Lord, and we know that you love us. And I pray your blessing upon you, Jim, and upon Myron and his wife, Sherry, and their kids and all that. God, we thank you so much for them. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks for being here today, Myron.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me to share my heart.
Hi, well, I'm with two very special guests this morning and want to introduce them to you. With me for our interview today is our own Katie Watson, and she is a member here at Court Street Christian. She's also a former employee of the Hope Pregnancy Clinic and is a current board member. And also, I have with me Mike Reed, who is the executive director of Hope Pregnancy Clinic here in Salem. And I've invited them here today to tell us a little bit more about the ministry and our partnership with them. You know, Court Street has been a partner with Hope Pregnancy Clinic for many years, and we love what they're doing. One of my first times that I met Mike was a couple of years ago. Our staff was invited to tour the facilities at Hope Pregnancy Clinic, and I was just really impressed, not only with his leadership, but just the way that he explained what they do and the care that they have for the people that they serve. And it's a wonderful ministry, and I'm excited to have them here. So welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
Glad to have you here, Mike. Glad to have you here, Katie. Mike, tell me a little bit about Hope Pregnancy Clinic, your facilities, where you are, and a little bit of your history.
Yeah. So Hope is just a couple miles away on Market Street. You're one of our closest churches to Hope. Our mission statement is that we exist to empower women to make life-affirming decisions about their unexpected pregnancies, and we also try to express the gospel of Jesus Christ to our patients. So we have kind of 2 points to our mission statement. I often can speak to our staff in terms of Hope being the compassion arm of the pro-life movement. There's a lot of different attitudes and pushes about how to be involved in that venue. Our approach is to come alongside the women who are caught in that abortion debate and be their advocates and truly walk with them through the decision-making process that they have to go through. And some women feel like nobody is there to help them, and that's where Hope steps in. And we see most patients less than an hour total, and we get a lot done with her in an hour because of the amazing staff that we have that help them.
You brought with you some pictures from the center, and I want to tell us what we're looking at here.
Right, so that is the lobby at Hope, and a couple things you'll observe about it. It's clean and tidy and professional and excellent. It's also really warm. We are a blend between a medical clinic. We are a medical clinic in Oregon, but we are also grandma's house. We want to be comfortable, and we want to project our safe, our safe intentions upon our patients. And so the second picture is of one of our patient rooms, and I don't know if you can read that sign, if I can remember what that sign says. If not, it's another one that says, "Beautiful girl, you can do it." I mean, it's just, we have all kinds of great messaging in every way. And that picture that I'm looking at, that's what I'm pointing at, is of our new addition to our building, which we did just a bit before you guys came, before you guys came to visit us. And it is both spacious and beautiful, and it has allowed us to see a whole lot more patients at any given time. So anyway, we're really thankful to the community for providing that. And this is one of our new ultrasound rooms, and with one of our 2 brand new ultrasound machines that again came in that building project. And we saw last year almost 700 patients, and the majority of them were indeed pregnant. Of all of those women who test positive for their pregnancy, we do our best to give every one of them an ultrasound, whether they're life-minded or whether they're leaning toward having an abortion or if they don't know. we want every woman to see that picture of her baby on the screen because that for all of them is can be a real game changer in their decision-making process.
Hmm.
To see life moving,
Yeah.
to see the heartbeat moving on the screen.
Yeah, I was really impressed by your facilities and just the professionalism of your staff when I was there. Katie, you've been now involved with Hope Pregnancy Clinic for many years. What really compelled you to get involved in a ministry, not only as an employee, but now you're a board member?
Well, I was drawn to this ministry as a young girl. There were actually really influential people in my life that worked at centers like this in the Portland area. And as a young girl, I just wanted to be like them. I loved the work that they were doing, working with women who were vulnerable. And so as a young girl, I was just exposed to good things happening. So I was always intrigued by it. And then when I was moved to Salem, I got to know Hope a little bit more. And I think there's perceptions when you know about Hope Pregnancy Clinic that you think you know what they're about, and that is protecting and helping babies, which it is. But when I got closer to Hope and learned more and got inside the doors and talked to people that were advocates and working with patients, I realized that it's better than I thought. And that is because Hope is completely women-centric. I mean, these people care about babies and they care about moms just as much, which I think is so powerful. It's so far from a just highly politicized topic in this culture. It's incredibly personal to people at Hope. And like Mike said, Hope is the compassion arm of the pro-life movement, and they really live that out on a daily basis.
What has it meant to you to have this partnership with your church here at Court Street Christian, and what have you seen? What are you grateful for, really, to have this partnership between the church and this organization? What does that mean to you?
It's been fun to, I'm not on staff anymore, but I was. It was fun to work at the clinic during the week and then come here on Sundays and interact with people that were from my church body and get to share that with you guys in a different way and kind of give you this inside look at what Hope is about. I think Court Street's one of our top givers to Hope Pregnancy Clinic. The baby bottle campaign, which you guys are aware happens every year between Mother's Day and Father's Day. Court Street goes big with that fundraiser for Hope, and we are so thankful. And I'm so proud to see the numbers and go, that's my church that gave really big to care for women in this clinic. That's been cool. And then the building expansion that you guys saw in the photos, Court Street was a part of that. Court Street gave very generously to make sure that building campaign could happen. So that's, I'm just thankful for this church and this place that's excited about being on board.
Yeah, that's a huge win. It's a huge win to hear those stories. Thanks for sharing that. Anything you wanted to add to that, Mike?
There's a bunch of churches in Salem, and many of them, like 60 churches, are involved with Hope in some way. But there are 5 churches that are all in every way, and Court Street is one of them.
Mm.
And we have another board member, Dave Colley, shout out there. 2 of our 7 board members come from this church. And we've had staff and volunteers. And every event that we do, Court Street is there to be a part of it. It's really, really, really encouraging.
Thanks for sharing that, you guys. So this year has been, 2020. Need I say more? But it has impacted just about everybody that we know of. And this ministry, what you guys do, such a personal ministry, is impacted greatly by the pandemic. And I asked you, Mike, to bring some numbers maybe that of how you've been able to do ministry even during the midst of this pandemic.
Right. Well, thank you. And let me preface it by saying that we have closed 2 different times in 2020. Once initially when we were trying to figure out how contagious it was. I think the whole nation shut down at that time. And then we actually had an exposure and we had to close for a couple weeks to quarantine. Besides that, we have lost a number of volunteers to COVID-related issues. At one point, we didn't have any volunteers coming in, and so we've had to condense the days that we're open. We currently are open 3 days a week, where we used to be open 5 days a week. So here's the numbers. The first number is 598, which is how many patients we project to see this year, which is really a great number. It's an impressive number. Last year it was 200 more.
Wow.
And the difference is entirely our availability to patients this year. The second number, and I'd like to come back to this one more, but for now I'll just say the number is 25, and that is the number of women who have decided, women who chose to carry their baby, who have decided that they would take us up on this offer to enroll in our new parenting initiative mentoring program, to come in every week and connect with a mentor to learn how to be a better mommy. And so 25, that's a brand new number. Again, we rolled out COVID the week before the COVID struck. And so then we shut down. And so we've just had a rough start with the parenting initiative, but man, do we ever have high hopes. So 25 to start with. The third number is 3. Third thing, and the number is 3. That's how many advocates that we have currently right now at Hope. And an advocate is a trained volunteer who actually meets first with the patient. They go in together and do one-on-one listening and connecting and providing options counseling. They're really an important part of what we do. And we used to have 8, and a perfect number is 10. That means we'd be full. We're down to 3. And so the nurses have had to double up and do the work of the advocates as well as their own medical assessment and ultrasounds and stuff. And so,
Yeah, that's. But you guys have soldiered on and really been able to continue meeting people's needs.
I'm going to tell you what, our
it's amazing.
nurses and sonographer and the advocates that we have are phenomenal. I mean, they are so called and so determined. The reason we closed another day to 3 is because I made them, because they were working absurdly hard. It's like, no, I really think you need to spend some time with your family. So, but we need some support.
dedication.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're cool.
You know, as I've been able to talk with you more about some of the stories, and you shared with me some of the personal stories, and there were some that stood out to you, and I've just asked you to share a little bit about those.
Right. And Josh asked me to bring some photographs of patients, and I told him there's 2 kinds of patients. There's the kind that love us from the beginning. They're so happy to hear they're pregnant, and our nurses are great with them and provide so many services. Often they need materials and stuff, and we're there to provide them. And they love to come and get our gift bags, and they don't mind at all if we take pictures of them. And so they say yes. Those are the pictures that you'll see on the screen. Then there's the other kind of patients who are more difficult. Maybe they are leaning toward abortion when they come in. Some of them have amazing changes of heart, and those are the fun stories to tell. Most of them don't, well, all of them so far have not wanted to have their pictures taken because they're a little uncomfortable with their loved ones knowing that they ever thought about having an abortion. So, you know,
Understandable.
they know that we got their backs and it's nothing but compassion and acceptance from us, but they're just, you know, it's a tough culture to be out there in. This is a picture of Elizabeth and her newest child. And Elizabeth, if you go to our website, hopeforsalem.org, you'll be able to find her 7-minute story. It'll be a lot better than what I'm going to say here. But the gist of it is this. She and her husband already had 3 children. She became pregnant again. They were very happy to be pregnant. They went to their doctor for the ultrasound. She was only 6 weeks along at that time. Didn't know exactly how long it was, but it's 6 weeks. We know that you can really not get if we had a patient come in at 6 weeks, we would take her pregnancy test, confirm that she's pregnant, and then make an appointment for a week or 2 later to make sure that we could give her a good ultrasound image. Her doctor couldn't find the baby on the screen and told her, I'm sorry, but this is a blighted ovum, which means we have a pregnancy sac, but there's no baby in there. And I'm sorry you're having a miscarriage, and the only thing I can do to help you with is to give you the medication to complete that miscarriage. And if you don't, you know, it could be difficult for you. And she said, no, I want to come back for another ultrasound. Can we wait and do this again? And the doctor said to her and her husband in the room, he said, well, I think we all know what's going on here. And no, I'm sorry, you just have to accept this. So she was torn up about it and decided not to go without a second opinion. So she called us and said, I've never been a patient there before, but could you give me a second opinion on an ultrasound scan? So we said, sure. And so she came in, and our nurse, Annie, found her baby. And, it's a lot funner story the way she tells it. And I will tell you that in the course of recording Elizabeth's story for our dessert, which was online, I must have seen her video 5 or 6 times. And every time I cried.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Every time. I even know when she's going to say it. I still cried. It's just so moving how she just credits us with saving her baby's life. And anyway, so great story. Leonidas, is that the baby's name? I think it's Leonidas.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique name. Yeah.
Leonidas.
Mike, thanks for sharing that story with us about Elizabeth. Really a phenomenal story, and we'll put the link for that. And I just want to say, in leading on to this next question, congratulations, church, just for being so generous, not only to our local church here, but to an organization that means so much to so many of you. And Hope Pregnancy Clinic, it was awesome to hear how, Court Street is really one of those top performers in that way, and we're excited about that. But beyond financial support, really, we want to talk about volunteer opportunities. Mm-hmm. If an individual is like, man, I would love to know how I could get involved as a volunteer. You talked about the mentorship program earlier. Mm-hmm. Maybe elaborate on that a little bit. I don't know.
Okay. First, let me just say that the volunteer at Hope is a part of our staff team. It's unpaid, but it is not small. And we intentionally do that because we believe we're an arm of the local church, and we want to have opportunities for the church to be involved in what we do beyond just financial support. And both our advocate role and the mentoring role, they're both really significant in people's lives. I mean, we provide good training so that a woman, and for parenting initiative mentors, some men, so that they know how to do what they're doing. And so anyway, it's a very significant role. Which is why, without our volunteers, as I said earlier, we really are in some deep weeds because we just need that support. So the parenting initiative, again, is our answer to the question, what are you doing to help these women that choose life? And we have wanted to provide this for some time. It wasn't until we had the expanded building that we actually have had the room to do what the parenting initiative does, which is we have women come in every week. They come in for 6-week modules. They meet with their mentor all 6 of those weeks for about 45 minutes, go over a curriculum together about how a baby's formed in the womb, how to breastfeed your new baby, how to take care of your toddler. I mean, just basic how to be a good mommy stuff. We have numerous modules, so after 6 weeks, the patient can sign up for more with the same mentor. Every 6 weeks, though, for completion, she can get from our boutique store with her baby bucks that she earns. And how does she earn them? By coming and learning how to be a good mommy. She can get some significant stuff, like most of them take a car seat the first time, but we have pack and plays. And so we provide information to her about how to be a good mommy. We give her stuff for doing this. And she has the pride of actually having earned this herself. It's not a free handout. She's actually providing for her baby herself out of her own effort. So there's a certain amount of dignity that we're putting back into her life as well. And so we believe in 2021, or whenever COVID gives us a break, that we will be able to see significant women. That's my phone going off. You can ignore it. That we will be able to see a significant number of women for the parenting initiative.
That's awesome. I love that.
Another thing that's really cool about volunteering is that boutique shop that Mike mentioned is a bunch of items that are donated by the community. So those pack and plays and those car seats, those are through grants by businesses in the community, but it's also from families that have come and donated new or gently used baby items, baby clothes, diapers, wipes. So if giving financially doesn't work for you and you don't have the time to be a mentor or advocate, if you have baby items that you'd like to donate, you can call the clinic and ask what they're accepting, but that's another huge way to love on these women and support them.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. Thanks for adding that, Katie. I wanted to ask you like one question here kind of at the end. I know, Mike, you shared with me you're about ready to go on vacation.
As soon as I'm done here.
As soon as you're done with this interview. And I wonder, what would you, what's something that people maybe don't know about Mike? Like, are you going cliff diving or,
Oh, I hope not.
skydiving or what do you like to do for fun on
I have a
vacation?
fear of heights. Are you trying to mess with me?
So
Well,
you're
what
a very safe vacation then is coming up.
It's a very safe vacation. I've told my wife the only thing I want to do on my vacation is not set my alarm. So I don't have big plans except to really chill. We're staying home the whole time. She's got to work a couple days, but we would just choose to stay home. I have a number of outdoor projects that, weather permitting, I will be out doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun doing the honeydew list, and it'll be a good vacation. Anything you want to add? Anything quirky about Mike? You've worked with him all these years.
You should
Katie?
talk about Junie.
Oh, I have a new granddaughter. I will see her. Well, new. She's 13 months old now. And she calls me Baba a lot. So.
Oh, man. That's really
Yeah.
special. I love that. Well, let's just close our time here today with prayer. I want to pray over you and also the ministry. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you all.
your
Thank
guys'
you.
partnership and ministry. Church, we talk a lot about what it means to bring heaven to earth. And we did a whole series on it earlier. And this is one of those ways that we can bring a little bit of heaven to earth by partnering with such great partners who are doing the work of bringing heaven to earth. So let me pray over you. God, I just thank you so much for Mike and for Katie and their involvement in the Hope Pregnancy Clinic. God, it just is such a heartbeat of yours to care for not only babies, but care for these mothers as well. And I've just been inspired myself by hearing these stories and learning how we can better partner together. God, would you just continue to bless this ministry in a powerful way and be with Mike as he goes on vacation. May it be a time of refreshment for him and his wife, and they get to see their new grandbaby. That's going to be so wonderful. Thank you so much for people who are really living out what it means to love God and love others. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thanks, guys.